What's up people, TreeTopDuelist here, back for another ban list post-mortem. This is one of the longest periods of time we've had before releasing a ban list, meaning that we've got quite a lot of proposed changes. I don't think the format's going to change too much after this, but the best decks have been hit a little bit, and the cards which weren't really seeing too much play have come off the list, as you'll see later. Getting straight into it, Orcus Bardich, one of the best decks in the format, possibly the best deck. Wasn't really absurdly broken. On the Bardich side, Fogblade is banned, so you can no longer search Fogblade with Bardich. And on the Orcus side, Babel is banned, because it kind of just messed with the summon limit. Pretty much everyone wanted this hit. A little bit of debate on Fogblade, because not too sure how good Bardich is without Fogblade, but it was certainly a very easy card to search. ABC Dragon Buster. No one wanted this at Unlimited, which is understandable, because once you actually summon ABC, it's really easy to just abuse. Playing multiple copies is also quite absurd, because you can tag out one of them to get two more. No one, well, there was some debate on Forbidden, as you can see, but people sort of met in the middle and semied it. I think people didn't want to ban this card, because if you ban ABC Dragon Buster, there is no reason to play any other ABC cards, and it completely kills the engine. So I think semi's going to be fine. Pendulum. This is a very, very interesting topic to discuss once you see some of the later hits. Mellow Madonna, banned, everyone agrees. Metalfoe's counter to semi, everyone agrees. Those were the only Pendulum hits proposed though. Some people wanted Eccentric Archfiend to co-forbidden, but I didn't quite get there. And I reckon Pendulum is going to be quite the force next format. We'll get into that in a bit. Pancratops and Altergeist in general. Pancratops semi, one person disagrees. Meluseek to Forbidden, almost got there, but semi is what most people voted for. I think banning Meluseek and Silquitius and having the trap card as semi is kind of too much on the Altergeist hits. I think Meluseek to semi is fine. It means you can no longer tech in your other good co-cards without putting a bit more effort in. I could be completely wrong, I'm no Altergeist adept, but it seems that most people met in the middle here though. Burning Abyss, oh god. So no one wanted Seer Unlimited, because then you can do the Seer Dante loop too much. Dante the Fusion, that's Dante Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, is now unlimited. Dante's, this is the Fusion monster, not the Exceed monster, was co-forbidden because turn 1 you can set up your Beatrice, and then your opponent has to spend quite a few resources to get rid of Beatrice. 2800 defense and she can mill stuff, she pretty much gives you value straight away on summon, and you get the Dante add back. Beatrice is a good card. Killing her isn't that easy, especially when she can mill Farfa and all these other things. When you do kill her, if Dante is unlimited, you can do it all the time. You get to summon a 2800 can't be targeted, draws your card every turn, and triggers BAs in your hand. Pretty good, to say the very least. I think people just underestimated this card. I'm not really sure. I think Burning Abyss is definitely going to play this in every extra deck, but we'll see. BA has, like in the TCG, it's always been there, it's always existed. I think we might see a few more BA players now. Subterra, Guru is just banned, so Subterra is the same as it was before. Subterra Succession, I think, is now legal, so Flip is going to play both. Shadol Fusion has gone to co-forbidden, spoilers. So I think Flip's going to be returning to the top of the spotlights now. And Decatron, Decatron's to Unlimited. I was going to do Decatron in the intro of this video, but I did it for the last two, and it's getting kind of boring and also really hurts my throat whenever I do that, so. Mirage of Nightmare is also going back from co to semi, which, yeah, I don't know, doesn't really change too much. It's maybe just too splashable at co. I don't think this is going to see any play at semi, it's not actually that good of a card, it's just kind of a Saki card. Danger Blue Eyes, Nessie to co. Very, very agreeable change here. It's just the one danger that you put in every deck that's playing danger, because you can't mess with it. Awakening to co, lots of people agreed with this, pretty much everyone agreed with this. And Lavinia to co. I think Awakening and Lavinia together, both at co, is a bit too much. We'll see how much Danger Blue Eyes has hit. This is quite a few hits already, especially when the deck did play more or less 3 Awakening before this. Lavinia also hurts some Thunder decks, and some sort of just general chaos decks, but it's about the same power level as VLS, so I think it's fine. Generic changes to Unlimited. Eater of Millions, we don't know. This is being a runoff vote, so I can't tell you, I can't predict the future. It was way too close, 9 to 10, and some people are uninformed, so we're doing a runoff vote. Giant Trunade didn't make the cut, wasn't surprised. Time Maiden got a lot of support, which is interesting because every time Time Maiden's been unlimited, it's been in every side deck. You can summon Zaphion with this to shuffle back all their back row. You can summon Metation to bounce all their extra deck monsters, which isn't too relevant in Trinity, but whatever. Legendary Fisherman 3. Whew. Man, there's been a lot of memes about this card. And he's finally free. Will we see any Fisherman 3 decks? No, probably not. I don't expect this card to do anything, but if you are playing the deck, fuck you, because it's really annoying to play against. And Draconis is also going to be a runoff vote. It's 9 to 7 with 4 uninformed, which is a ridiculous amount of uninformed. To Co-Forbidden, Plot of Extravagance, you know what Polgri does, right? Heavy Storm Duster, now Co-Forbidden. This comes back to pendulum changes. Heavy Storm Duster was the kind of like, destroy both your pendulum scales, I win. You probably don't actually win because pendulum can recover quite easily. You can definitely always sort of use your Metal Fix counter, now semi-forbidden, to like add back a scale or whatever. You probably have like a scale or two in hand anyway. It's not too much of a hit to pendulum as people might suggest. But this card was atrocious in control mirrors, and pretty much every deck played this card. I looked up the statistics for this, and I think it was 93% of decks in the last however many months played this card. And the decks that didn't play it were new players who didn't know the card existed, and no one else. Like, it's played in 100% of optimal builds of like every deck. In my opinion, it was the strongest card of last format. Now, I think it's very playable at Co-Forbidden, especially when people don't see it coming. But on the flip side, back row's also been hit quite a bit. Solemn Warning and Lost Wind going to Co, which is quite a big hit for back row decks. On the flip side though, I think if not everyone's playing Heavy Storm Duster, it means that you're more incentivized to play more back row. Now, Solemn Warning and Lost Wind are hit, and I don't expect anyone to be playing these at Co-Forbidden really, but there's a lot of other non-chainable back row that's still very strong. Not Solemn Warning levels are strong, but it's still pretty good that you can play. I think, I've said this a million times before, Bottomless Trap Hole is very good. Banish Galatia, banish a whole Pendulum Summon, just banishing things is really strong in Trinity. You can search it with Mamillo, don't know how many people are going to do that. I also think that Mirror Force, I think regular Mirror Force is just good enough, especially when you can play Mirror Force Launcher to search it. I think that's going to see a lot of play next format. Battle Traps in general get a big buff when Heavy Storm Duster is not in the format. And also I think that people should start playing Cosmic Cyclone maybe, as a replacement for your Storm Duster, because you want a few more pieces of back row removal. I can't predict how people are going to sort of shape up to this change, but it's the most relevant one, possibly on the whole list. Semi-Forbidden, everyone apart from one person wants a Boral Sword to semi. Oops, I win! If you're playing Pendulum, and you can summon 4 monsters, and you can make Boral Sword, and you probably win. Any deck which can like revive a link can make Boral Sword and you probably win. This was in most extra decks. Decks couldn't make it that often, but if you could, you probably win. It was just a really annoying card to deal with. Is it going to see play at semi? I think semi's quite a hit for it. But I think if you're sort of geared up as you want to like OTK your opponent and Boral Sword's how you're going to do that, maybe you can play at semi. Magical Scientist also coming to semi here. Scientist was playing a lot of decks. This is an ABC hit as well, because it could summon Rampage Dragon. Seemingly most people thought it was too good, whether or not that's ABC or Orcus Barditch summoning Thousand Eyes Restrict, and then making like Barditch or something. Yeah, it was played in a lot of decks. At semi, will it see play? Maybe, I think ABC still does play it. Other things I'm not sure. Scapegoat, oh my god. Scapegoat's been at Co-Forbidden for so long. And finally this is the day. Everyone agrees. The card is absurd. It's just a 1-card Curious, it's a 1-card, like, Link 4 if you want. It was already good. Will it see play at semi? I think it might actually see play at semi-forbidden. Just resolving it, making Curious is very strong. And finally, Rainbow Neos, no one wants OTKs in the format, which is Strike, actually getting forbidden. I don't think this is a good card at all, but if you ever resolve Witcher's Strike, you just win the game. And the same for Jackpot 7. I don't think anyone actually believed that this is like a playable card. The one guy played the deck, and it turned out to be the most boring deck to play against, so yeah, people hit the card. That's been it for the February Banners Postmortem. Until 3 months from now, stay groovy!